This isn't just some private journal. This was L. Ron Hubbard's blueprint for life. These affirmations became a seed of Scientology, and the seed was cracked, sun damaged, and possibly dipped in testosterone. Aloha, I'm Natalie, and this is Life After a Cult, the channel where we expose cult nonsense. We laugh at the absurdity, and we hopefully unbrainwash ourselves in the process. Today, we're diving headfirst into the self-hypnosis journal of L. Ron Hubbard, founder of Scientology, destroyer of Navy credibility, and possible wizard in training. It's called Affirmations, and it's 100% bonkers. This is not a joke, okay? This is a historical document in Scientology. Written around 1946, the Affirmations were Hubbard's personal mirror pep talks. Think of them as his own spiritual ASMR, except instead of "you are safe," it's "your hip is lying to you and snakes aren't real." Hubbard wanted to restore his ambition, willpower, and confidence, which apparently required rewriting his naval failures, boosting his testosterone, and having a redheaded guardian angel on speed dial. "I want her always, but I hardly admire her naked," he said. His relationship with Sarah was not it. He said, "I want her always, but I hardly admire her naked." Sir, this is not a therapy session. This is a Yelp review of your girlfriend's body, and you need to log off. He even had affirmations about his hormones and confusion. He said, "By laying off hormones, I hope to restore my libido." This is the kind of sentence that gets you banned from Reddit. You can't take testosterone and also stop taking it to manifest more libido. That's not how endocrinology or vibes work. Here he gets into the sex affirmations. L. Ron Hubbard said, "You know they will be thrilled. You can come many times without weariness." Yes, he wrote this. Imagine writing your own Yelp review in your diary and giving yourself 5 stars in the endurance category. Of course, then he just blames women. He said, "Many women are not capable of pleasure." Okay, so now it's not your fault. It's their anatomy. Classic fragile masculinity move. "It's not me. It's biology. I read it in a scroll." Here's where we get into the snakes. He wrote, "There are no snakes in the bottom of your bed. This is either a fear, a past life trauma, or an LSD trip that went sideways. Regardless, I will now be checking under my blankets for cult snakes." He even talked about a redheaded guardian angel. Her name, unknown. Her vibe, gold slippers, red braids, Venusian face. She sounded like she escaped a Renaissance fair and joined an ayahuasca retreat. And honestly, I love her for that. And she speaks to him audibly. L. Ron Hubbard said in his affirmations, "You can talk with her and audibly hear her voice above all others." Okay, that's not a guardian angel, that's schizophrenia with high production value. He also said, "Your psychology is advanced and true and wonderful. It hypnotizes people." Yeah, my dude, you literally used hypnosis to control people. This is less psychology and more Jedi mind tricks with delusions of grandeur. In his affirmations, he even rewrote his history with the Navy. He says in his affirmations, "You did a fine job in the Navy. No one there is now out to get you." Yeah, paranoid much? Nothing says, "I definitely did not get court-martialed," like a passive-aggressive affirmation about how the Navy is just a vibe mismatch. Imagine telling your own foot, and I quote, "You're lying. You don't even hurt. You're just dramatic." Some people manifest health. L. Ron Hubbard gaslit his own body. "You are radiant like sunlight." More like, "You are blinding like ego, but you go off and do your thing, sunflower." Then there was all the manifestation that definitely had Dictator vibes. He said, "Material things are yours. Men are your slaves." L. Ron Hubbard out here writing fan fiction about being the world's horniest genie. He said, "Money will flood in upon you." And plot twist, this one actually worked because money did flood in from Scientology members, the IRS, and Tom Cruise. He said, "You will always look younger." Sure, Jan, you died looking like a haunted leather armchair, but okay. And he even had affirmations for his music ability. And if you listen to his album, The Road to Freedom, that tells you all you need to know. He said, You can read music. He just tossed this one in there like, by the way, I'm also Mozart now. He did want to live a long time. He said, you will live to be 200. L. Ron Hubbard was born in 1911, died in 1986. But you know what? Math is hard when you're immortal in your head. He said, your magical work is powerful. He literally believes he's a powerful magician. And you know what? If the spell was create a tax exempt cult, it worked. Also, in these affirmations, you can do automatic writing whenever you wish. And yet, somehow, this man never auto wrote anything shorter than 800 pages or less confusing than Battlefield Earth. But his writing affirmations didn't stop there. He said, you are a magnificent writer who has thrilled millions. That's not an affirmation. That's the back cover of his own book that he wrote himself and gave himself five stars on Goodreads. L. Ron Hubbard, I guess, thought he had a sense of humor as well, because in his affirmations, he said, you do not need to lie to be funny. Tell that to every single one of your war stories, Ron. You made up a volcano god named Xenu. Need we say any more? He said, masturbation does not injure or make insane. That is a quote. Thanks for the clarification, Ron. Tell that to your childhood guilt and possibly your chiropractor. He was not one who wanted to be sick. In his affirmations, L. Ron Hubbard said, you are not susceptible to colds. L. Ron Hubbard denies science, diseases, and also snakes. Meanwhile, his immune system is all, we're doing our best, Ron. There didn't seem to be a lot of lost love when he lost his parents, because in these affirmations, he says, it's fine, I lost my parents. And again, that's a quote. Here's another quote. I am fortunate in losing Polly and my parents, for they never meant well by me. Never meant well by him. Did we just walk in on the villain's origin story? Should I call a therapist or a screenwriter? Now, here we go with the snakes. He says, snakes are not dangerous to you. Talking about the snakes again. Sir, the snake thing is now a pattern. Did something happen in the Boy Scouts? Do we need to unpack this? He said, you believe in God. You have no doubts. Imagine needing to affirm to yourself that you believe in God. That's not faith. That's insecurity with a monologue. He said, men are your slaves. He had a real big thing about that, it seems. It's giving cult daddy complex. It's giving MLM warlord. It's giving if Tony Robbins ran Hogwarts. This isn't just some private journal. This was L. Ron Hubbard's blueprint for life. These affirmations became a seed of Scientology, and the seed was cracked, sun damaged, and possibly dipped in testosterone. If this pleased you, if this horrified you, or this just made you slightly more sane, like, subscribe, and send this to your weird friends who are also into astrology, manifestation, and conspiracy podcasts. In the meantime, stay curious, stay skeptical, and never trust a man who says there are no snakes in your bed, because that's exactly how snakes get in your bed. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I hope you have a cult-free day.